Okay, welcome back. As you can see, the subject of today's video is the game Speccy Brothers, which was released by Climacus in 2012. So it's one of the more modern games. It's based on a 1990 arcade game by Toaplan called Snow Brothers. I'm not familiar with that game at all. If you know it, please let me know in the comment section below what it's like, etc. I've checked it out on YouTube, looks fun enough, but like I've said, I've never played it. So, it's 48k only, so there's no sort of like great AY tunes playing all the way through it. However, there is a very, very nice tune on the front screen here, which I'm rabbiting all over. It's very, very similar to the Bubble Bobble stroke Rainbow Islands stroke Power Soul Stars style of game. You've got to clear each screen of enemies. Rather than using bubbles or rainbows, etc., you have to throw snowballs at them, encapsulate them in the snowballs, and then defeat them that way and collect whatever sort of sweets and gems and goodies they leave behind in their wake, having been killed by your good self. As you can see, the keys, the controls that you need for this are left and right, up and just up, well, a jump basically, and a fire button, and this is what the game is like. It's very, very nice to play. It's very, very colourful, very charming graphics. As you can see, everything sort of plays really, really nicely, and I enjoyed the sort of time that I've spent with this. Giving it a good sort of 20 minutes, half-hour play, etc. Lovely, colourful graphics, which you know, I'm going to keep on saying it, we kind of keep harkening back to the Playground Wars and the fact that the Commodore 64 fans would always go on about the colour clash on the Spectrum. But as we know, that's, you know, people have long since found a way to make some extremely colourful games on the Spectrum with minimal clash. And this is very, very colourful, as you can see. And it's it really plays quite well. I probably, in fact, I do prefer the Bubble Bobble, Rainbow Islands, etc. to this. But remember, you know, those were like official conversions. This is something sort of that would appear to be fan-made, and also it was free to download. I don't know if it ever saw a physical release. Of course, lots of modern games are released on tape through a variety of different houses, etc. So, you know, we have to sort of factor that into the equation when we're talking about, you know, it's not as good as, it's still perfectly good, perfectly playable. You will enjoy it, and my recommendation is for you to go out and give it a download, give it a try. Now, I've gone back to playing on the Spectrum sort of quite a lot recently over the sort of last few months, etc. We do have a PlayStation, but to be honest, I only ever really used that for watching iPlayer or YouTube. I got knacked off with the size of the games and how long, you know, they took to install, or updates, constant updates, and, you know, having to pay for extra content and stuff like that. It got to a point where, you know, I really can't be sort of bothered with it. The girls still play on it. They play your Skyrims and sort of stuff like that. You know, I find that game monumentally dull, but they love it and they've played it to death. But there's a question for you. You know, those of you that have kids, do your kids share an interest in your interest in the Spectrum or retro computing? Or like mine, you know, do they think these are museum pieces and they wouldn't be seen dead playing any of these? My eldest girl occasionally likes a game of Bubble Bobble. She quite enjoys that. But the youngster, she won't go anywhere near it. She finds it quite sort of highly amusing and entertaining. The fact that this is all we had to play. Some of the playability in these old games is, you know, is unmatched by some stuff, you know, even modern releases. You know, you certainly got your value for money out of your £7.95 or your £5.95, or even your £2. I mean, how many games, modern games, have you spent 40 odd quid on and found out they were a pile of absolute shite, and three days later you've taken up cash converters or CEX, etc. Anyway, that's a massive digression, but please answer that question about if whether or not your kids have an interest in retro gaming, etc. Now, one of the channels that I do follow, the Retro Shed, is really nice in that it's a father and son team, Barry and Joshua, and they both have a passion for retro computing there. And it's really, really nice the way they sort of interact with each other, etc., and share their memories and stuff like that. There's some good humour in there as well. So go and check out the Retro Shed if you haven't already. They cover a multitude of systems and also some of the old toys that we used to play with, etc., such as the Starbird Avenger and whatnot. And really, really good channel. Now, that's another digression over with. Please share your thoughts on this game with me. Please share your thoughts on Snow Brothers, the original game, with me, if you know the game, that is. And also, if you're going to consider sort of downloading this. I mean, it really, really is a fun game. As usual, I didn't get very far in it, but when do I ever? But that doesn't mean to say that I couldn't see it for what it was. This is a really well put together, simple, enjoyable game. The fact that it's free it is a bonus, and you know, it's something that shouldn't be sort of taken too lightly, because, as I said, you know, people have put time, effort into this at their own expense, likely for little to sort of no financial return. So wherever you can support these modern day authors, please do so, because without encouragement, they're not going to carry on, are they? They need to know that people appreciate their work. This is yet another example of a great modern game. So this is a 2012 release. So that's 30 years after the Spectrum was released. Okay, I'm going to stop waffling now. I really enjoyed that game. I hope you can tell that from the commentary here. Please, if you like the video, please let me know. If you wish to subscribe, please do so. But if you do subscribe, please take the time to join in the conversation, pose questions, answer questions, etc. That's what it's all about. It's all just a bit of fun. Okay, thanks ever so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye.